Welcome back to the part 2, which is the continuation of our previous video. Now, in this particular one, which is the other phase, where we were told to calculate for the that from the information provided above, that calculate the concentration of B in mole per dm cube, the concentration of A in mole per dm cube, and the concentration of A in gram per dm cube. These are the questions we follow, so understand it first and let's go. Now, remember we were told that B contains what? 4 grams of B is a solution containing 4 grams of sodium hydroxide dissolved in 500 cm cube, right, of distilled water. So it's actually very, very simple, but the question is shown to you on your screen. Now they told us to calculate for the concentration of B in mole per dm cube. Remember, the formula for it is concentration of B in mole per dm cube is equal to the concentration of B in S gram per in gram per dm cube all over what now? Molar what? Mass. And someone will ask me, why did I not use the CAVA or over CBVB? Yeah, I can't use it because I was not given the concentration of A in mole per dm cube, and you cannot calculate for the concentration of A in mole per dm cube and also that of B, two unknown, so it is not possible. That's why we will ask to calculate for the B first. After we get for the B, we can now calculate for the A using the CAVA method. Now what do we do here? Now the concentration of B in gram per dm cube here, it was not given to us directly, rather we're giving 4 grams of the sodium hydroxide dissolving in what now? 500 was cm cube. So what do we actually do? There are many methods to solve it. Remember, I said gram per dm cube. Of course, what do we do? You have to calculate for your concentration of B in gram per dm cube. You already have 4 grams, right, of sodium hydroxide divided by, now they say in 500 cm cube. Since the solution was in dm cube, we have to convert this 500 cm cube to dm cube, and to convert cm cube to dm cube, you have to divide by 1000. That's the conversion factor. That 1000 cm cube is equal to 1 dm cube, or 1000 milliliter is equal to what now? 1 liter. So you have to convert this 500 cm cube to what now? To dm cube by divided by 1000. If you divide by 1000, you will get it to be 0.5, meaning 500 divided by 1000. So let's continue. Now, after making use of this one, we can also do a shortcut like this. Now, 4 grams of sodium hydroxide dissolved in 500 cm cube, right? Then S gram, right, will not dissolve in 1000 cm cube. Which way you cross multiply, it will become S gram per dm cube is now equal to 4 multiplied by 1000 divided by what now? 500. Altogether will give me what now? 8 gram per dm cube. So you can either use this method here, or you can use this method here. Both of them will give us 8 gram per what now? Dm cube. Now that we have our concentration of B in gram per dm cube, we can now calculate for the molar mass. Remember, the molar mass of sodium hydroxide is equal to sodium has a mass of 23, which they will give to you 23. Oxygen is 16, hydrogen is 1, which will give me what now? Which will be in what? 40 gram per mole. So here becomes equal to what now? 8 divided by what? 40. 8 divided by 40 will be equal to what? 0.8 divided by 40 will give me 0.2 mole per dm cube. So that will give me 0.2 mole per dm cube. So this is already the concentration of B in mole per what now? In mole per dm cube. So we'll move to the next question, which says the concentration of what now? The concentration of A in gram per dm cube. So I will erase the board. They follow the way I did it. You can use this method. Okay. Now, the concentration of A in mole per dm cube is to use this formula that says CAVA is equal to CBVB is equal to NA over what? Now NB. Now take note, we were asked to calculate for what? Now the concentration of A in mole per dm cube, right? Already you have the volume of your acid, which was this average. You have the concentration of B, which was 0.2 mole per dm cube. You have the volume of the base, which is the volume of the pipette. The volume of the base is the volume of the pipette, which is 25 cm cube. Then your number of mole of A and your number of mole of B can be obtained from the mole ratio. From the mole ratio. Mole ratio. Is that understood now? Mole ratio. Remember, it was H₂SO₄ plus sodium hydroxide, which gave us sodium sulfate plus H₂O. Right? When you do the balancing, here will be 2, here will be 2. So the mole ratio of the acid to the base is 1:2. Mole ratio. What is the coefficient of this acid here? Is 1. What is the coefficient of this base here? Is 2. So 1:2. Now, what do? We cross multiply, so we can make Ca the subject of the formula, which is CAVAMB is equal to CBVB and what? NA. I'm looking for Ca here. Ca will be equal to CBVB NA over what now? VA and what now? NB. What's my CB? My CB here was 0.2 multiplied by my VB is 25 multiplied by my NA was 1 all over my VA was 21.60 multiplied by my NB is 2. When you multiply and you divide, you should have your final answer to be equal to S. Okay, so that's 0.2 times 25 times 1 will give me 5. So 5 divided by 21.60 times 2 will give me 43.2. So when you divide it, you should have 0.1157. 0.1157, right? And don't just write 0.11. No, you should take it longer to more what now? Decimal places. So you put the unit here, the mole per what now? Per dm cube. This is the final answer to the second one. Now the last of the question, right, that we were giving is the concentration of A in gram per what now? Per dm cube. So remember, the concentration of A in mole per dm cube is equal to the concentration of A in gram per dm cube divided by the molar what? The molar mass. Now from the question here, we are looking for what now? The concentration of A in gram per dm cube here. So which will now be concentration of A in gram per dm cube is equal to the concentration of A in mole per dm cube multiplied by the molar mass. So it will now be equal to, now we already have our concentration of A to be 0.1157 multiplied by the molar mass of H₂SO₄. Let us calculate it here. Hydrogen is 1 times 2 plus sulfur is 32 plus oxygen is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. Altogether will give me 98 gram per mole. So here it will be 98. Final answer becomes multiply by 98. The final answer will give me 11.3 gram per dm cube. That is the final answer to this question. So if you just understand how these briefings are done, that is all. So do well to like, share and subscribe, and make sure you opt in for more practical questions that you may likely see in your examination. Thank you and God bless you, and I wish you success in this your forthcoming WAEC. Expecting A from you. Thank you.